Good evening, everyone. This is Priyanshu Kaushik, and you're listening to Noobs Law School. In this video, I am going to talk about Clat 2022. Basically, only 30 days are left for this exam, and you should definitely have a strategy that shall get you admission into a NLU of your own choice. If you are not someone who is dead serious about getting inside an NLU and becoming the part of the NLU nexus, then you should not watch this video. But if you are someone who is dead serious and have proper intentions to get admission into an NLU, then you should definitely watch this video to its full so that you can secure a proper strategy and get admission into an NLU. Let's move forward. So today is 16th May, right? The date for today is 16th May and today is a Monday. Your exam is scheduled for June 19th June. You roughly have 31 days. Though you have something around 33 days, but I would say that you have something around 31 days only. And 31 days is basically a perfect month. And you can get decent preparation in these 31 days. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how to go about these 30 days in order to get a decent rank, which shall get you admission into an NLU of your own preference, right? Now let's talk about understanding your current preparation level. Basically, the idea is that you need to understand where do you stand in the market right now. The market of exam, the market of Clat 2022. Do you consider yourself a noob? Do you consider yourself an intermediate or a pro? Noob is basically an internet slang which basically represents a noob is a person who basically does not possess experience, who does not possess knowledge, and is a complete beginner to the concept of something. It is basically used in regarding games, but we are using it for the Clat 2022. What I mean by noob here, basically a person would be calling himself a noob in terms of preparations. Basically, if he has not cleared his basics being basic concepts of every subject, so he might possess like knowledge of logical reasoning and legal reasoning, but he does not have GK stuff sorted out. He does not possess English reading comprehension knowledge that much, so that person could call himself a noob. Before moving forward, I would like to introduce you to Unacademy. Basically, Unacademy is offering 20% off on all of its Unacademy subscription purchasing. I would like to tell you that this offer is only valid till 19th May. Yes, only 19th May, and after that this offer will expire. So if you want to purchase any Unacademy subscription, which you shall purchase, I'm recommending you that you should purchase an Unacademy subscription at this stage. Why? Because Unacademy subscription is least costly of all the coaching centers. You can get a 1 month subscription, which is very rare in order to get from online coaching centers. You will get a lot of study material and a lot of stuff and a lot of help from Unacademy mentors. So if you are interested in purchasing a subscription, you need to use my code, that is THRIN. It is Trinath10. Yes, Trinath10. If you want to get 20% off on all of your Unacademy subscription purchasing, if you use my code Trinath10, you will get a 20% discount. Yes, 20% discount on all of your Unacademy subscription purchasing. Thank you. Then we have intermediate. Intermediate is someone who has basic concepts cleared, but he does not have practice. He has not practiced extensively upon his cleared concepts. So this person is someone who has basically gone through concepts of every subject but has not put them to use, or has not put the knowledge he has gained to use. Then we move on to pro. A person, a Clat aspirant can call himself a pro aspirant if he has studied basic concepts of every subject. Not just he has studied them, he has mastered them and has been practicing for a long time over the same of the same topics, and he has a complete grasp over those concepts. A no would be getting something around 30 to 55 marks in his mock test. What is a mock test? A mock test is basically a fake test, which is basically a real-time evaluation based fake test which you give in order to feel like you are giving a Clat exam in reality, but you are not giving the exam for real, and you're creating an environment which gives you the feeling that you are giving the exam itself. So what this is going to do is to this it is going to desensitize your brain regarding the exam, and when you are going to sit in the exam, you're not going to feel anxiety attacks or all that stuff. So our mock test is very important for your preparations, and you should definitely be giving mock test on alternate days. So if you are a noob, a person who has, who hasn't got his basic concepts cleared, you shall be getting a mock test score which is between 30 to 30 between 30 to 55 marks. If your Clat mock test score is something which is below 30, and it is something around between 10 to 30, you are a very serious condition, and I doubt whether you can basically secure a national law university at least this year, because it's not going to be even very hard for you. It's going to be dead hard for you to go to the preparations which might get you something around maybe a pro or intermediate level of mock test score. But if you are getting a score which is between 30 to 55, that's a very good score. I won't say that it is a very very good score and you should be proud about it, but it's a score which you can improve and get yourself admitted inside the intermediate category. If you are someone who consider himself an intermediate, who has got his basic concept clear, I presume that you are getting a mock test score which is between 55 marks to 80 marks. If you're getting something around 55, if your mock test score is below 70 and you are stuck in something like 55 to 65, your mock test score are ranging between 55 and 65, then you can definitely reach the score of 80 by doing proper practice. And if you are someone who consider himself a pro, you shall be getting a mock test score which is between 80 marks to 120 marks, and it's a very decent score, and you need to be consistent in your preparations, and you need to keep improving. That is only the way. So if you're a noob, then the basic thing which I would like to recommend to you is that you need to focus on mathematics and logical reasoning. In logical reasoning, you have to focus on non critical reasoning part, basically the logical reasoning part only, and mathematics. So these two subjects you need to practice extensively. But if you are someone who is a noob and has no interest in mathematics or is weak in mathematics, then it's going to be very very hard for you to get a good rank in NL in Clat. If you are someone who is an intermediate, you shall cover current affairs, that is GK, and legal reasoning based current affairs extensively, because basic concepts of all the subjects are already clear. You need to only practice and practice and practice. But GK is something where you can where the amount of knowledge is unlimited, and you need to keep collecting knowledge, more and more and more knowledge. So focus on GK part. And if you are a pro, I do not have any tip for you. You're already rocking the stage. Yeah, brother. So all I have to recommend to you is to continue your grind set. Before moving forward, I would like to tell a little bit about myself. So my name is Priyanshu Kaushik and I belong to Delhi NCR. Why I'm telling you about myself is because you need to have a preference for your own NLU. Basically, I come from a village background and my parents are very conservative. So they did not wanted me to take admission inside any university which was very away from my home. And because I belong to Delhi NCR, the only law universities which are around which are surrounding my house are NLU Delhi. There is another national law university. There is one national law university called NLU Sonipat. Then we do have IPU, that is Indraprastha University, and SRM, which is a private law university situated in Sonipat district of Haryana, the similar place where NLU Sonipat is situated. Basically, I knew that I cannot secure a good rank in ILET, that is NLU Delhi's exam. So I cut down the option of NLU Delhi. SRM was a private law institute, so I put it inside a backup option that if I do not secure any NLU, I'm going to take admission into SRM. Only two universities which I could take admission in was NLU Sonipat and IPU. So I was preparing to get admission inside NLU Sonipat, It was my preference that I get inside NLU Sonipat, because I knew that I cannot get inside NLU Delhi. So I had to make sure that I do prepare and get inside NLU Sonipat. I secured a rank which was 1703 and I got 173.5 marks. Basically, I was like, I got selected in the first list of National Law University Sonipat, and it felt very good. So I'm going to tell you about my own strategy which I employed in the last 30 days to prepare for this exam. Let's move forward. Basically, the exam possesses 150 marks, right? Your exam is going to be of 150 marks. There are 5 subjects. First one is English, which comprises 20% of the total exam, and it will get something between 28 to 32 questions. The next subject is logical reasoning, which is again of course 20% of your total exam, and it is also going to have 28 to 32 questions. Another subject is current affairs, which is 25%. Yes, 1/4 of your exam is current affairs, and it is going to have 35 to 39 questions. Another part that is 25%, that is again 1/4 of your exam, is legal reasoning. It is going to have 35 to 39 questions. The last but the most important is quantitative aptitude, that is mathematics. It is only 10% of your total exam, and it is going to have maximum of 15 questions, but it is the subject where you can gain maximum marks, right? Now let's talk a little bit about these subjects and how you are going to secure good marks in them. The exam is of 150 marks, I already told you. Do you need to attempt 150 questions in order to get a good rank? You definitely do not need to. Even the people who are teaching you about Clat, who are teaching you the Clat syllabus, even they will not be able to attempt 150 questions in just a span of 2 hours, right? Your exam has negative marking also. Negative marking is also there in Clat 2022. The exam is of 150 marks. It is a reading comprehension exam, and it only has 2 hours for you. Can you complete 150 questions in 2 hours? You definitely cannot. So what should be your strategy? You have to employ best strategy. You are going to do only those questions which are going to get you marks. You're not going to waste your time upon questions where you are unable to even understand what the question is trying to say, right? You're not going to attempt current affair questions where you do not even know whether where you are not even 50% sure about your answer, and you're going to Jai Mata Di and just pick one question answer. You cannot do that. You have to be assured of your strategy. You do not have to attempt 150 questions. You have only 2 hours. You have to attempt something between 90 to 120 questions to get a very decent rank. Now I do not mean that if I have said that you have to attempt 90 questions and you're going to attempt only 90 questions or maybe 120 questions without taking care of accuracy. You need to make sure that you are going on an accuracy streak of 85 to 90% of accuracy. Yes, though I'm saying though I might be going a little too further, but that should be your goal. You should be having a goal of 85 to 90% accuracy. If you have this big goal, you will definitely achieve an accuracy of 70% to 80%, something around that. So the game is of accuracy and attempts. Make sure that you attempt more than 90 questions and your accuracy is above 70%. It shall be something around 85 to 90%. Now let's move forward. I would like to inform you certain things. The very first thing which you have to do is to identify 2 subjects where you feel you are very strong, right? It could be English, it could be English, it could be GK, it could be math, it could be anything. It could be any of these 5 subjects. You need to identify 5 subjects, 2 subjects out of these 5 subjects where you are fucking confident about your securing marks. It can be like English, if you are like very great at comprehending poems and other sort of English comprehensions. It can be a very good thing for you. It can be current affairs, that you are very updated with current affairs and you have been watching news and you have been preparing for current affairs. It could be math. Some people are naturally very good at quantitative aptitude. For some it will be legal reasoning, and for some it will be logical reasoning. You have to identify 2 subjects. Then you have to identify two subjects where you feel you are very weak. It could be, some people are, very weak at mathematics, so one could be mathematics. It might be current affairs, that you have not prepared for current affairs, and you're, a beginner in the current affair, I would say noob in current affair preparation. Two subjects you have to identify. It could be legal reasoning and English, or maybe logical reasoning and quantitative aptitude. It's up to you to identify those two subjects where you are, weak. Then you need to identify one subject where you are okayish. Okayish being that you are neither weak in that subject, you are neither strong in that subject. So if you do work a little bit good, you can, consider this subject as a strong part of yours. Now analyze how much marks you can secure from each of these subjects. You need to understand that each subject possesses certain questions and certain marks. So make sure that your two subjects which you are strong about, you are aiming for 80% marks from them, right? For example, if you are someone who feels very confident in legal reasoning, if there comes 35 questions in legal reasoning, then you should be definitely aiming for something around 28 marks out of, you should be aiming for 28 to 30 marks from legal reasoning. I'm not saying that you can definitely achieve 28 to 30 marks, but there are people who has done that. So if you feel strong about legal reasoning, you have to make a target of 28 marks, at least 28 marks. If you feel good about quantitative aptitude and there comes 10 questions, you should be aiming for at least 8 marks, right? But this also depends upon the fact of the difficulty of the paper. If the exam is very difficult, is of advanced level, you need to adjust your demand for marks. Like if the exam is of very hard level and you were aiming for 8 marks, now you should reduce your aim for 5 marks. It's very, very okay. It does not create any problem for you. Now let's move very forward. Check if your combined marks from all the subjects is above or below 70. If it is above 70, you are in the safe zone. But if it is below 70, you are somewhat in the dark zone, or maybe the red zone, and a bit of danger is upon you. If your marks are above 80 and 90, you are definitely going to rock the exam. But of course, do not do this mistake of taking the mock test score as your final exam score. I know many people who had mock test score which was not above 65. Like if I talk about myself only, I never got a score above 73 marks in my mock test. There was only 2 mock tests in which I got marks which were above 70. Once I got 71 marks, and once I got 73.25 marks in my mock test. A friend of mine, she was a girl from Maharashtra, she used to get 120 plus, she used to get on average 120 marks in her mock test of career launcher. Yes, 120 marks for me, she was like no, she's going to rock and she might get NLS Bangalore or something like that. I do not know whether she, for me, I used to think that she will definitely go to maybe Bangalore or maybe Analsar. But what happened during the exam time? She got 69 marks, right? 69 marks out of 150. The same girl who used to get 110 and between 110 and 120 in her mock test, she got 69 marks in the actual exam. So do not confuse your mock test score and consider it your final exam score. So that could be very hazardous for you. Now let's move forward. How to prepare to maximize your gains, right? Time for slow and hard preparation is already gone. Yes, you do not have time. You only have 31 days, and 31 days are not very much, too much of great time. You cannot do hard work in this time, and you cannot go slow. You have to go faster. You have to do smart work. Without smart work, you will definitely fail in this exam, because undirectioned hard work is not going to get you results. You do not have to worry about, there are, in general, for general category, there are something around 1600 seats, right? You do not have to care about all of these 1600 seats. You only have to care about one seat which you are going to secure. You do not have to care about the rank of the other people. You have to care about yourself. what rank which NLU do you demand and what NLU you are going to get. So in the forward slides, I'm going to talk about how to do smart work and become an NLUite. So tips for smart work. I'm going to provide you some smart tips for your smart work. The very first tip, which might be very controversial for you people, which a lot of career, coaching centers have been selling you. You should stop reading newspaper right now. If you have been reading newspaper up till now, very good. Reading newspaper can get you reading comprehension skills. They can enhance your comprehension skills. That is a very good habit also. But right now you only have 31 days left, and you definitely do not want to waste 2 to 3 hours reading crappy news. What you should do instead of reading newspaper is to go to YouTube. There is a channel called Rao IAS, RAU IAS, Rao IAS. I'm not I'm not promoting this channel, as they haven't sponsored this video or anything like that. I'm just promoting this channel because I myself used content from this channel when I was preparing for this Clat exam. I gave Clat in 2020. So they do basically daily analysis of the Hindu newspaper. Their video range from 20 minutes to 40 minutes on average. You can do two things while watching their videos. Basically, the very first thing you can do is to increase the speed of video by 1.5x. You can also watch the video at 1.75, or if you can watch at 2x, that is a very great thing. It will save you half of the time. Also, what you are going to get is that you will not be wasting 2 to 3 hours. You will get the crux of the exam newspaper at a very low time. So because we are talking about smart work, you have to definitely do this thing. Make YouTube your friend. Right now you need to make YouTube your friend. Basically, you cannot do the practice part right now. You have very less time. So if you are like preparing for current affairs, instead of going on news websites and doing current affairs, learning about current affairs, you should go to YouTube and use IAS channels in order to get YouTube content for current affairs, for other subjects. There are various channels like Legal Edge is having its own channel, Career Launcher is having its own channel on YouTube, and there are other various coaching institutes which are like Unacademy is also having an Unacademy law based channel, where we are doing daily work on Clat exam. So you should go on to YouTube and at least spend 3 to 4 hours daily. But you need to make sure that you are using YouTube as a friend, not as a foe, because if you are going to use YouTube as a foe, it can also put a lot of harm to you. Math and logical reasoning are your allies. Allies are basically friends who are going to help you. So basically, you can be assured about math and logical reasoning. Getting marks in math and logical reasoning is very easy. If you do a little bit of practice, you can definitely gain marks in math and logical reasoning. These are only two subjects in this whole exam where you do not need to understand the concepts. Rather, everyone can get to the answer of mathematics, though you might get a wrong answer, but you can definitely get an answer in math and logical reasoning. It is a matter of time, not a matter of understanding that much. Then what you should do is, instead of reading GK daily, you should download CA compendiums, that is current affair compendiums, from January onwards. There are various channels on Telegram. If you are not part of those channels, basically those channels upload on daily basis or a monthly basis compendiums are basically a complete analysis of monthly current affairs. So if you are not part of those Telegram channels, then do mention inside the comment box of this video, and I will definitely provide you links of those channels. And I might even create a group for you people with the name of Noobs Law School, where I will be sharing that content. If you want that, please do mention inside the comment box of this video. Make sure that you are well aware with the constitutional law. I'm not saying that you need to be understanding of constitutional law. You have to understand, basically you need to remember articles, which article is related to, like right to life, right to uh, public speech, right to, there are lots of rights, right to equality, right to blah blah blah. So you have to make sure that you remember major articles. Then you have to understand the basic concepts of law of torts, contracts, and a bit about criminal law. This shall suffice you for legal reasoning. This shall be sufficient for your legal reasoning comprehensions based questions. Now, last tip, instead of devoting a whole day to only one or two subjects, try doing three subjects a day. Do not go for more than three subjects, because three subjects are good. You shall be spending at least 8 to 10 hours on daily basis in your studies. That is, if you are going to employ, there are 31 days, and if you are spending at least 8 hours per day, or maybe 8 to 10 hours, if we suppose if you are spending 10 hours per day, that shall become 310 hours. But you do not have to spend that much time. What you The maximum time you shall be spending upon your preparation is 250 hours. If you achieve this much hour of productive, I also want you to do productive work. I do not want you to keep spending your time, keep wasting your time upon doing work which does not get you results. You have to become productive, and productivity is basically when you are using your time effectively. You are not just spending your time making a stuff. You are not just spending your time practicing questions. You are spending your time perfectly, and you are doing everything you can in order to increase the productivity of your time. And make sure that you are doing math and logical reasoning as a subject. Either you are taking mathematics or logical reasoning, one of these two subjects, on a daily basis. Thank you for watching this video. If you like my strategy, do not forget to hit the subscribe button, and also do not forget to like this video, subscribe to this YouTube channel. And if you are thinking about purchasing an Unacademy subscription, which you shall, you need to use my code, that is THRIN, it is 310, in order to get 20% discount. Thank you again.